Hi there, I'm Diana, a tour guide at the Chester Beatty. Today it is my pleasure to introduce you to one of our ancient Egyptian treasures. Chester Beatty Papyrus I was acquired by Chester Beatty in 1928. It was later identified as belonging to an archive discovered by a French team of archaeologists excavating at Deir el-Medina, a small Egyptian village where workmen on the royal tombs lived. The scroll, measuring more than 5 meters long, belonged to the family of an accountant employed in connection with the royal tomb construction. Papyrus is a triangular stemmed reed that grows along the banks of the Nile. Papyrus sheets were manufactured by aligning thin slices of the reed horizontally. Next, a second layer was spread at a right angle across the first layer. Finally, pressure was applied to the layers so that the strips would spread, while papyrus sap would bond the two layers together. The sheets were then sun-dried, burnished, cut to uniform size, and glued to form a roll. Besides papyrus, a reed pen and wooden palette were the essential tools of an Egyptian scribe. The palette held a water well and cakes of black and red ink. Black was used to write the main text, and red to mark the start of a text and to highlight keywords and phrases. Both sides of a papyrus roll could be used. The writer began on the front side, that is, the side on which the papyrus strips run horizontally and on which it's easier to write along the fibers. And he would write page after page of text until the entire front of the roll was filled. Then the writer might turn the roll over and continue on the back, across the joined papyrus strips, as was the case with our scroll. The writing on this papyrus is the cursive script used by ancient Egyptians known as hieratic. Here it was written from right to left, the same direction in which the papyrus would have been unrolled for reading. Among several documents on the scroll is a love poem that is the focus of this audio tour. Preceding this poem on the front and the reverse of the scroll are several texts written in the same hand. Among these is a panegyric praising Ramses V, composed in year 2 of his reign. Now it's certain that Ramses V's brief 5-year kingship occurred in the middle of the 12th century BC. Hence all of the documents preceding the love poem were written on the scroll around that time. But the love poem which follows was written in a different, although contemporaneous hand. Hence it was added to the papyrus soon after. The author of the love poem is unknown, as also its composition date, unless the poem was created by the same person who here wrote it down. If not his own work, our scribe may have so liked the verses after hearing them read or performed that he copied them onto this long papyrus scroll in his personal library. In that case, the poem's composition date could be earlier than the mid-12th century BC. This poem was formatted as a series of 7 verse stanzas in which male and female voices alternate, and it's likely that the verses were originally sung in this way, perhaps at a festival, with musical accompaniment of a flute, harp, lute, or cymbals. Ancient Egyptian poetry did not have end rhymes or meter. Instead, what we have here is a progression of couplets, sets of 2 lines that develop a single idea. Each verse stanza relates a new chapter in our love story. Following the heading, beginning of the words of the great dispenser of entertainment, the first stanza starts with a catalogue of female beauty traits attributed by the youth to his girl. The next 2 stanzas express the frustration of both the young man and young woman, as each tries to play it cool while anxiously hoping to be noticed by the other. Successive stanzas reveal that both suffer from lovesickness, each tries casually to catch the other's eye, and both invoke divine assistance in pursuit of their goal. Twice the girl mentions that her mother opposes the match, and it is perhaps for this reason that, in the end, the young man despairs that 7 whole days have passed without word from her, leaving the listener in doubt as to whether or not this silence signified an end to the romance. By way of caution, It must be noted that the ancient Egyptians commonly used the terms brother and sister to demonstrate affection, and that is how they are used here. Expressing the joys and sorrows experienced by young lovers with honesty and intensity, these poems are timeless and universal in their appeal. I hope that you will enjoy them as much as I do. So now, let us allow the young lovers in the poems to speak for themselves. Sister without equal, most beautiful of all, she is like the morning star rising at the start of a happy new year, perfectly radiant with glowing skin, glancing with beautiful eyes. Sweet are the lips with which she speaks, saying not a word too many. Slender-necked with glowing body, her hair is true lapis. Her arms more lustrous than gold, her fingers open like lotus flowers. Plump bottom, slim-waisted, her legs display her beauty. She walks with grace upon the earth, capturing my heart in her embrace. The sight of her causes all men to turn their heads. Joyous is he who embraces her. He is supreme among young lovers. My brother's voice excites my heart, making me lovesick. He lives near my mother's house, but I am unable to go to him. It is good that my mother orders him thus, "Stop seeing her," since my heart suffers when thinking of him. Passion possesses me. My heart conspires to view her beauty seated within her home. En route, I met Mehi, who was riding accompanied by his alluring companions. Should I stop to address him, or should I deliberately walk on? Oh, my heart, you are very foolish. Why confront Mehi? For if I approach him, I will tell him of my wanderings. My heart races when I recall my love for you. It prevents me from behaving normally. It is easily aroused. It won't let me dress nor even put on a shawl. I cannot paint my eyes nor anoint myself with oil. Pay no attention, clear your mind, it counsels me whenever I think of him. Don't act the fool. Sit calmly until the brother comes to you. Oh, don't let folks talk about me as a woman besotted with love. Stand fast, my heart, when you think of him, and do not leap. I worship the golden goddess. I extol her majesty. I exalt the Lady of Heaven. I give adoration to Hathor, and give praise to my mistress. I appealed to the goddess, and she granted my petition. She sent my mistress to me, coming of her own accord to see me. What a great thing has happened to me! I rejoice, I exult, I am bursting with pride, ever since it was said, "Look, she is here." I passed through the neighborhood of his house and found his door open, with the brother standing beside his mother. All his brothers were with him. Love for him seizes the heart of all who walk upon the road. An excellent youth, without peer, a brother outstanding in virtues. He glanced at me when I passed by. Alone, I rejoiced. How my heart leaped with joy, brother, because you noticed me. If only my mother knew my heart. O golden one, put it into her heart, for then I would hasten to the brother and kiss him before his companions. 7 days have passed since I saw my sister, and sickness has befallen me. My limbs are heavy, my body neglects its own needs. If the chief physicians come, my heart is not comforted by their remedies, nor do magicians have the power to diagnose my illness. What will cure me is the coming and going of her messengers. That's what will heal my heart. The sister is better for me than any remedies. She is more important to me than a collection of potions. When I see her, I will be well. When she opens her eyes, my limbs will revive. When she speaks, I will be strong. And when I embrace her, she will remove what's wrong. but she has been gone from me for 7 days. The Chester Beatty Egyptian love poem shared with you today are but one of many interesting treasures in the museum's collection. I hope that you will soon have an opportunity to visit us to explore our fascinating and diverse collection.